why Expo Forum is so good. It shows the place of our small industry in the overall scale. When you enter this huge Expo Forum with 1 kilometer to one side, 1 kilometer from the other side, and you find the small angle, the small zone in the angle with cinema workers. We celebrate 2 anniversaries this year. First one is 20 years of modern cinema in Russia. We thought that the first modern cinema park was Kodak Kinomir in Moscow. 20 years ago it was opened, which means the first modern cinema in Russia was opened with Dolby sound, modern technical features, and so on and so forth. But this autumn is remarkable due to another thing, and I'm talking about the second anniversary. 10 years of digital cinema in Russia. Back in 2006, in 3 cinemas in Russia, in December to be precise, the first movie was presented in digital format, A Night in the Museum. First modern commercial presentations in Russia. 10 years only have passed since the opening of the first digital presentation, and we saw our industry changing. What 10 years mean? No iPhone. iPhone will be presented only in 2007. You can imagine how many changings occurred to iPhone. I'm waiting for an iPhone 7 to have in my hands. Our business is changing rapidly. Through over 20 years, we gathered $10 billion only. I'm talking about Russian box office. It accounts for 1 year box office in the US. 2 billion viewers came to us, like half of China population. Having said that, we consider that our industry is important. We created 35,000 jobs. 35,000 people due to our business have job. And I'm talking only about cinema presentation. There are job cutting in the industry in the recent times, but still 35,000 jobs is an important number. Around $3 billion were invested of private money for the development of cinema parks. When someone will ask you, what have you done in order to develop cinema industry in Russia, you can answer, the private investment accounts for $3 billion. These are foreign capitals, but these are private investments within Russia. It's important. During the last 2 years, we are feeling that something is going wrong. A couple of years ago, I heard a sentence, and I liked it. Cinema presentation is a tired industry. Yes, we can work, and we are working, we are smiling. Yesterday, one of our foreign guests told me that there are less smiles in the market. People are walking, thinking, sober. So this is the sign of the fatigue of the industry. The objective of today's conference is to find the way to the future. What shall we do to see our colleagues smiling again? How can we smile to our viewers, to our producers? And how can we smile to our government? We should absolutely understand our opportunities, where we go. The last year has shown that we used in time, and we were forced to do so, but the results were good. And I'm talking about ticket cost reduction by 40%, 50% or less. The Russian average ticket cost has stabilized, but main circuits reduced the ticket cost. And this was a good measure. You can compare this year to the previous one. Penetration grew up. Box office grew up. But what about the margin? Are we capable to use this measure once again and further reduce ticket costs? Ticket cost reduction, to my mind, can occur down to certain limits. Then, according to the customer's perception, this service will not be valuable. A value cannot cost 20 rubles, and viewers will perceive us as a 20 ruble industry. This is why we should find another ways and other measures. Second thing, we should fight for our consumers, but by reducing price, implementing promo projects, we are attracting customers, but customers belonging to our competitors. Our market is very small. That's why our today's objective is to constantly develop over the next years. Our main goal is to grow this market in size. If we cannot make a ticket more expensive, we should expand the market by attracting new audience. This is all about recruitment. Active audience is not changed. 5 to 6 million active cinema goers. 90 million people live in the cities with cinemas, which means less than 5% of city population are active cinema goers. So our objective is to recruit new audience. Another important thing, the world is undergoing through drastic changes. You see new services, new apps emerging, and there is a new trend called after Uber. When we talk about Uber in Russia, we say about no intermediate. What Uber is doing? Uber is using no dispatcher, no intermediate. iTunes, no intermediate. You pay directly to the right owner, to the musician. Internet banking kills an intermediate. You don't go to a cashier anymore. You are engaged in communication with the bank. Shall we think about a cinema as an intermediate? Because this perception can kill you, can kill us. We should do in a way of avoiding this pure intermediate role. We should be more attractive, to present ourselves as social hub, the only place in town to meet your relatives. A cinema should substitute a church, because church used to be a gathering place on weekends and Sundays. We should replace a church by cinemas, in a sense to become a public space. We have an unusual format of our conference today. 3 blocks dedicated to cinemas and digital services. First block, first session if you want. Second session will be dedicated to mostly loyalty program, how to recruit audience, how to retain audience. And the third session is entitled Cinema is not only movie presentation. Movie presentation is not only a movie presentation. We will talk about new functions of a cinema in a new conditions. All the sessions will be engineered according to an unusual way. We will start with a presentation, and then we'll proceed to a fight. We have a battlefield in front of us. There will be 2 experts and 1 referee. Referee will throw questions and experts will argue. I would like to highlight that our objective was not to engage experts in a rivalry. We would like to engage them in a certain game. We asked experts to support different points of view in order to try to prove to a counterpart that he or she is right. Shall we begin, ladies and gentlemen? And I would like to introduce you to the first session, Cinema and Digital Technologies. It is not related only to ticket selling, it is also related to every digital technologies which help or not help the development of the city.